What has your pet accidentally conditioned you to do? Change the water in her bowl. It can be all the way to the top and she'll stand there staring at it until I take the bowl. Dump it, and refill it with fresh water. I open the tinfoil as quietly as possible. My cat loves tinfoil balls. And whenever he hears it he runs over and looks at it longingly. Despite him having at least 24 tinfoil balls already. You can't call him with a treat bag or tin. He only comes for the foil. Check the mail every day. He's so excited to walk to the mailbox with me it reminds me to actually do it. Before I run in the morning I usually scarf down a banana. Ever since we got my sweet dog, I scarf down about 2/3 of my banana and he gets the last part. It's become our little thing. An unspoken agreement. Sleep with my legs a cat length apart. She likes to sleep in between them. Weaving his name into any song I can for no reason whatsoever. To press on my bladder to wake me up early so they could eat early. Living lots of food by night didn't solve it. 2 things. My dog Rusty always puts his front paws on me and I always hugged him, so now when he's anxious he'll give me a hug and I'll hug him back. The other one is when I get ice he always begs for one, so now without thinking I always toss him an ice cube. Edit. Thank you all for the awards. I'd assume you'd all like to know the good boy is sleeping on my chest right now, and yes, he did get an ice cube before bed. Calm down when I start to lose my temper or get frustrated. Whenever he hears me sigh or swear, he runs to me, rests his chin on my arm or leg and looks up at me with concern. This has made me so aware of how my energy can impact those around me, and I have really gotten my anger under control since he started doing this. He's one of the goodest boys and I am grateful for him every day. A pic of my goodest boy. My girlfriend's older cat makes me pick her up to drink running tap water from her bathroom sink. I also gotta pick her up to get on the dryer to eat. Even though she can easily make the jump. Run towards the door when they start dry heaving. I have a cat that plays fetch. Very insistently. She brings me her toy mouse. And if I don't throw it for her, she sits on my laptop keyboard. Of course this all started when I would throw the mouse to keep her from sitting on my laptop. Yell, floor food, whenever I'm cooking and I drop something. Or go, crunch crunch crunch, when I'm chopping veggies, so my dog knows I have extras for her. This wasn't accidental. I have a kitten, about 5 months old. Every morning, I wake up and feeding him is one of the first things I do. In the first couple months, in his little brain, he learned that me waking up equals food. About a month ago, he started waking me up, looking to expedite the process. Jumping on me, meowing loudly, running across the bed, whatever gets me out of bed. I usually wake up around 6 a.m. for work. I guess that was too late for breakfast, as over the course of about a week this kitten would wake me up about 15 to 20 minutes earlier every day. This started on a Sunday and it wasn't until Friday that I was woken up and realized it was 4:30 a.m. It was then that I realized I've been outsmarted by a kitten and I was being conditioned to feed him in the middle of the night. Now if he wakes me up early, he gets locked out of the room until I'm ready to get out of bed. He doesn't wake me up anymore. Sleep on my back or front. I used to be a side sleeper but have an elderly cat who loves her human bed. My mother's dog tells her when it's time for her evening meal. As in my mother's evening meal. The dog knows she eats after my mother, so when she starts to get peckish she goes and bugs her to start cooking. When I go back to visit, we'll be sitting chatting and the dog will sidle in and become a presence in the room for maybe 30 seconds until my mother casually looks at her watch and says, "I suppose we better think about eating." She's completely unaware of what triggers her decision. My cattle dog knows if he coughs on my face in the morning, I will get up and wash it. Then now I guess I am just up. Also, for one cat I leave the toilet seat up so she can pee. Otherwise she will go down the sink and that feels wrong. Shuffle my feet instead of walking when it's dark so I don't step on my small black cat. One of my dogs has several barks. A play bark and a squirrel bark and other dog things that are normal dog barks. He also had what we call his emergency bark. The emergency bark is what he does when he thinks there is serious danger. It is extremely loud and makes us jump every time. He usually reserves it for things like the time I fell down the stairs and he barked for my husband to help. Or when someone is in our front yard. Or when he cornered a possum in the backyard. However, since my husband started working from home, this dog barks his emergency bark at my husband if he tries working past 4 p.m. My husband now has learned to stop working at about 3:50 every day to avoid that jarring sound. When I get up to go to the bathroom, I stand in the door and wait for my elderly cat to come in before I close the door. He likes to keep me company. If he doesn't come in right away, I'll call for him, and if still nothing, I'll start walking around the house looking for him. I had fish on top of this cabinet. Not sure if that's the right word, so I would always be really careful when closing it so it doesn't disturb them. I haven't had fish or any other pet in 5 years, but I still do it. When I come home, my dog comes to the door all excited, wagging her tail, making this woo-woo-wah-woo sound. It's not quite howling, but it's not barking either. I started to woo-wah-woo-wah back to her because it amused me, but now if I don't, the sound she makes will turn into barking, which is very noisy and unpleasant. So basically she's trained me to have this dumb woo-woo-woo conversation with her in order to keep her from yelling at me. Edit because lots of people are asking. She's a Portuguese water dog. My husky does this sneezing thing when she's anxious, and I imitate her every time she does it. Usually causes follow-up sneezes. I also know right when she's about to groan when she's anxious. Annoyed, and if I make the noise before she does, she won't do it. My cat sleeps under the blanket snuggled up to me. Even when I am at a hotel, I instinctively raise the blanket a bit so he can crawl in. Edit. Here's my baby boy snuggling me. https Imager.com AVRSUOHN. I seem to have inherited a turtle. A red-eared slider. It was originally the daughter's and she bought it at age 13 with the help of her mum. It came with a tiny tank. I know. Once it arrived home I thought, well, how unfortunate that your new owner is incapable of looking after herself, never mind a pet. She did try, but as expected got bored by this new friend. So I looked for information and found out he may live for 25 to 30 years. At this point it seemed to become my responsibility. 11 years later, daughter has moved out. Several tanks later, don't worry, the one now is fine in size. 2 fluval filters, heaters, bulbs for heating and UVB, custom basking ramps, and the general upkeep and well-being of our not-so-small turtle. It seems that he now 100% mine. I don't mind, to be honest. Anyway, when we are out of sight he will continually swim near the water surface and splash like crazy. All 4 legs breaking the surface and creating a lot of noise. For some time I would hear this noise and run into the room. Upon seeing me he would stop. I walk out. Splash time again. I look forward to the next 20 years of doing this. Sometimes we take him out the tank. He seems fine. Not terrified or skittish, but quite happy to explore. I never know if this splashing is him asking, "Hey, come on, get me out of here, I need a change of scenery." My wife just got out of the cat's chair on our front porch after he strolled up and meowed. Crazy thing is, it's not our cat. Everything her little heart desires. BC I am an idiot sucker and she knows it. Leave the bathroom door cracked just a little so she can open it. See that I'm in there. And be on her way. Instead of waiting outside whining and whining. No, I don't do this for pooping nor when there are people over. As I'm not a Neanderthal. But she really needs to know it's me peeing in there or she will freak the frick out about my location. Save the last part of everything I eat for him. My parents' cat prefers to drink water directly from the tap before. Every night before bed he'll hop onto their sink and meow until someone turns on the tap for him. Then when he's done he'll meow again until someone turns off the tap and carries him to bed. Last summer my cat had serious health problems. He had to spend some days in the animal hospital. My place was so empty without him, and that was the time I realized basically I adjusted every aspect of my life to please. Don't scare. Don't hurt him. I only open the windows to let fresh air in. If the cat is closed in a different room, I always watch where I step. I hurry home from work, so he won't vomit on the carpet from stress and loneliness because he thinks I left him alone to starve to death. I always check the washing machine, the dishwasher, the oven before turning on, and so on. I'm checking literally everything and I do everything carefully. I really can't imagine what will I do if he leaves me forever. I'm so used to his sweet fluffy presence. Incidentally, my story from the reverse of this question still applies. We've conditioned him to dramatically flop onto his side for pets. And he's conditioned us to give him attention when he flops because it's so damn cute. We tried to encourage our cat to not wander around crying for attention. So I started going to pet him every time he quietly laid down. It worked to a certain point, but now his method of demanding attention is to dramatically throw himself onto his side with a huff. And stare at us. Fortunately for him, it's very cute, so it still works in getting him attention. Cat tags for photographic evidence. Edit to add. As a bonus, our bigger, older cat figured out what gets attention for the younger one, and started mimicking it, much less dramatically though, so we sometimes get situations like this. Leave space next to my pillow for him to cuddle next to. Though often both cats wanna sleep there and I have what I call my cat hat to sleep in. Panic when the door opens. My dogs are runners. When I'm having dinner, my cat would jump on the table and look at me with squinting eyes until I feed him. I try to resist, but his eyes squint so hard it's as though he's about to fall asleep. Too cute not to give him a little bit of my food. I have 3 cats, so I am as trained as a seal at SeaWorld. Here are just 3. In the evenings, Icy will sleep on the living room furniture. If I get up to get a drink, she will stretch and roll over demanding belly rubs. And she wants me to tell her she is a pretty girl. If I don't pet her and tell her that, she will meow at me when I come back. Luna likes to know where I am at all times, so she will call out to me and expect me to answer. I know the meow that means, "Lisa Simpson fan, where the hell are you?" She won't stop until I answer her. Mr. Saucy Pants is a big baby, so he needs lots of reassurance, and I have to leave the bathroom door cracked so he knows he can get to me if he is scared. If it don't, this little paw slides under the door and he cries. The only time I shut the door is if other people are here. The cats run the house. Yell her name when she barks. It's just automatic now. She's a tracker, so whenever she needs something she'll just walk me to it. So now whenever she looks at me and paws at my foot, I just follow her. It's just a reflex at this point. Pick up the turds which just periodically fall out of his a-hole for no apparent reason. And also pay $400 to have the vet stick a finger up there when it gets clogged up once or twice every year. When it comes to pooping, my cat is all or nothing. Lift the covers in my sleep so he can crawl in. He aggressively head-butts until he gets his way, so now I just do it to avoid a mean bonk to the face with a hard furry skull in the night. My dog likes to sleep under the bed covers. If she wants to get under, she will come and nudge me gently, and no matter how asleep I am, I lift the covers with my legs so she can get in. She will look toward the kitchen and then back at me with a smile. Then she gives a little wag and looks at the kitchen and back at me with that cute smile. She's telling me she wants a treat. My dog Yuri has conditioned me into being his pillow at night. At first I would immediately push him off when he tried, but eventually he learned how to rest his head on my chest little by little, so I didn't notice. Now I basically just let him do it, lol. I've shared this before, but I got my dog Snoopy when I was 10 years, and ever since he was a puppy he had this weird love for lettuce. He would go absolutely nuts for it, so whenever I had a sandwich or a burger I would give him some of my lettuce. Over the years it became a ritual that whenever I prepared any food for myself that involved lettuce, I would grab some extra lettuce for him, so I could toss it to him as I ate. He passed away 5 years ago after nearly 17 years together, but I still find myself grabbing that bit of extra lettuce for him. It's kind of funny that his little quirk has still stuck with me for all these years, and I honestly never wanted to go it away. Because it's a little way for me to remember him. I used to live next door to my grandmother, so when I would call, it was usually to make sure her back door was open and my dog could run over for a visit. We now live farther away, but every time he hears her voice on the phone he gets all excited and runs to stand by the front door waiting to go see her. My cat for whatever reason likes to play hockey with ice cubes. So whenever I get ice for my drink I instinctively put a cube in his water bowl. Somehow the subsequent wet socks always surprise me. In the mornings my GSD will not, at all, go outside to do his business until I give him his joint vitamin. He's gone through the doggy door and turned right back inside a few times. My cat Kevin loves to drink water out of the sink. So every morning when I get up I fill up the bathroom sink with an inch or two of water. He also loves to bat things into the sink, so I grab a couple of Q-tips and set them next to the edge so he has something to scooch in there. When I come home from work I yell out for him, so he can come up to me and I pick him up to give him kisses. Walk out the front door backwards while simultaneously closing it. We got one cat that tries to escape, while the other two are fine with their large 100 square meters backyard with a net all over it. Unconditionally love them. I've somehow become a cat treat dispenser for them. Yay for thumbs I guess. They both come next to me, keep staring until they get a treat. Or the boy sometimes keeps talking and gives me a massage until he gets his treats. The girl also is all flirty when she wants temptations. Until she gets them. Candy digger. Close the bathroom door with a rope just big enough so the cats can fit through. Or he, dog, will eat their poop out the litter box. No one wants or likes doggy kisses with a bit of cat crap sprinkled in between. There must always be a space for my cat whenever I sit down on the couch so she can cuddle up next to me. Any obstacle will be knocked and or scratched out the way so she can take her place at my side. Leave pillows laying next to the tile. He likes to lay on the tile, because it cools him down, but he doesn't like his head to touch the floor. I talk in a very feminine voice to my dog. She was a abused rescue and was scared of men, so being a man, I just changed my voice when I would talk to her. To puke in the bathtub when he needs to puke. He pukes from time to time and I put him in the bathtub when he needs to. One day he just got up and went into the bathtub to puke. Proud but sad moment for me. Edit. I just realized I read the question wrong, and that my dog pukes in the bathtub. I was not conditioned to puke in the bathtub because my dog pukes lol. Every time I stop petting my dog, she reaches out and taps me with her paw, sometimes quite insistently. Of course, who can resist that? I keep petting her every time. If I go to the bathroom for any reason my cat will wait outside and then lead me to the kitchen for kitty treats. I don't even resist these days. The nice thing is, she doesn't even look back, just ambles into the kitchen and assumes I'll be right behind her.